Have you ever wondered how a man's sexual habits evolve after the age of 70, and what it means for his health and relationships if daily private practices like masturbation become part of his routine? This is a sensitive but deeply important conversation about the balance between self-care and emotional connection. By watching this video until the end, you'll uncover surprising insights that not only impact physical health, but also the emotional well-being of men as they age. Don't miss these valuable reflections that could transform your perspective on intimacy and aging. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. I want to speak to you with the utmost respect and sincerity about a deeply delicate, yet profoundly important topic: the practice of daily masturbation in older men and its profound impact on both their relationships and their health. This conversation is crafted with great care, particularly for those over the age of 50 who may find themselves at a crossroads of self-discovery in the later stages of life. Sexuality doesn't simply diminish with age, rather, it transforms, deepening in its nuances and inviting us to explore new dimensions. Masturbation, even well into old age, remains an undeniably natural and, for many, healthy act of self-love. It is not something reserved solely for the young, nor is it confined to those without partners. In fact, many men over the age of 70 engage in masturbation for reasons far beyond mere physical pleasure. For some, it's an intimate means of reconnecting with their aging bodies, a way to soothe the sting of loneliness or to alleviate the weight of stress, allowing them to maintain a vital connection to their sexuality. However, when this practice becomes a daily ritual, we must pause and consider the deeper implications, both physically and emotionally. What does it mean for a man in his later years to rely so heavily on this private act? Is it a harmless form of self-expression, or could it be a subtle cry for something more? The psychological effects of frequent masturbation in older men can be profound. As we age, we are faced with a series of often heartbreaking losses. Retirement can strip away one's sense of purpose. Declining physical abilities can feel like a betrayal of the body, and the loss of a spouse can leave a gaping emotional void. In these moments, masturbation can become a comforting refuge, a quiet place where a man can feel in control, alive, and connected to the sexual energy that still pulses within him. The American Psychological Association has highlighted that maintaining sexual activity in old age is associated with a lower risk of developing issues like depression and anxiety. Sexuality, in this light, becomes a form of self-care, a way to release pent-up tension and reclaim a sense of vitality. But there is a fine line between self-care and self-isolation. When daily masturbation becomes the sole emotional outlet, it can have unintended consequences. The act, once a means of reconnection, can turn into a way of avoiding life's more difficult truths. A man may find himself retreating from the need to foster meaningful emotional connections or to address unresolved conflicts within his relationship. While masturbation, in and of itself, is not harmful, its repetitive, daily nature can sometimes foster a psychological dependence. This dependence may rob a man of the ability to fully engage in shared intimacy with his partner. It raises a critical question. Is he seeking physical pleasure, or is he subconsciously running from something deeper, something more painful? Within the delicate fabric of relationships, it is crucial to remember that sexuality is far more than just physical gratification. It is the lifeblood of emotional connection. When an older man repeatedly turns to masturbation, his partner may feel a growing sense of distance, as though she is being shut out from an intimate space that was once shared. This exclusion can be emotionally devastating, leaving the partner to feel rejected or unwanted, as though the pleasure and closeness that was once theirs to experience together has become a solitary act. The result can be a significant blow to her self-esteem, as she may interpret this behavior as a sign of disinterest, dissatisfaction, or even a withdrawal from the emotional bond they once cherished. This is not just a conversation about sexuality, it is about intimacy, connection, and the deep emotional currents that flow through our lives, especially as we age. For older men, understanding the balance between self-care and emotional avoidance is essential to not only maintaining physical health, but also nurturing the precious, irreplaceable bonds that make life so deeply fulfilling. For men over 70, who may already be grappling with a natural decline in sexual desire or the challenge of achieving consistent erections, masturbation can seem like a simpler, more accessible option, one that demands less vulnerability and avoids the potential for criticism. It's private, familiar, and within a man's control. However, it's important to remember that shared intimacy with a partner offers profound benefits that extend far beyond the realm of physical pleasure. Research from Harvard University highlights that older men who continue to nurture an active sex life with their partners often report a higher quality of life, increased emotional connection, and greater satisfaction in their relationships. The act of intimacy becomes a bridge, keeping the bond between two people alive and well, even in the later stages of life. From a medical perspective, frequent masturbation is not inherently harmful for men of this age group. In fact, it can be beneficial. Regular sexual activity, whether alone or with a partner, promotes blood circulation, which helps to maintain the health of the reproductive system and can even support cardiovascular well-being. However, there are some important caveats to consider. While daily masturbation may offer emotional release and physical relief, it can also lead to unexpected fatigue. For men who already experience a diminished capacity for recovery due to age, frequent ejaculation might leave them feeling drained rather than revitalized. The delicate skin of the sexual organ, which becomes more sensitive with age, may also suffer from irritation with constant stimulation, leading to discomfort that could undermine the very pleasure being sought. A man in his 70s cannot ignore the reality that his body is no longer the same as it once was. Though sexual energy may still flow, the body's ability to recover after sexual activity naturally slows. While daily masturbation can be pleasurable in the short term, over time it has the potential to decrease overall libido, turning what once was an enjoyable, intimate act into a mechanical habit devoid of emotional satisfaction. What was once a source of connection and joy may become routine, stripping away the deeper layers of fulfillment. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. This is why balance becomes essential. Engaging in solo pleasure can be a healthy part of sexual expression, but it should not dominate one's sexual life at the expense of shared intimacy. It's worth exploring other activities that can complement sexual energy, such as yoga, meditation, or aerobic exercise. These practices not only stimulate the body but also reinvigorate the mind, nurturing an overall sense of vitality and well-being. So, what does the future hold for a man over 70 who engages in daily masturbation? On the one hand, he is likely to enjoy the physical and emotional benefits of maintaining his sexual activity, feeling more connected to his own body and in touch with his desires. But on the other hand, if he relies too heavily on this solitary act, he risks neglecting other vital aspects of his emotional and relational life. Solo pleasure, while satisfying, should not take the place of meaningful, shared moments with a partner, moments that can involve far more than sexual activity. Affectionate touches, a warm embrace, or simply sharing a deep conversation are forms of intimacy that sustain emotional health. When daily masturbation becomes the sole expression of one's sexuality, there's a danger of slipping into emotional isolation. The physical release may offer temporary relief, but without the warmth of human connection, there can be a lingering sense of emptiness. The path forward is one of mindful balance, recognizing that while masturbation is a natural, healthy part of life, it is not a substitute for the deeper emotional and physical connections that make us feel truly alive. Instead of allowing masturbation to become a monotonous routine, it can be thoughtfully woven into a rich and varied sexual life, where both self-erotism and shared intimacy have their place, nurturing the mind, body, and spirit in balanced harmony. As we age, our relationship with sexuality transforms. The raw, impulsive desires of youth give way to something more nuanced, more reflective, a kind of sensual wisdom that reminds us that true pleasure is not merely about physical satisfaction, but also about emotional fulfillment, self-awareness, and connection. This is why it is essential to create space for both personal exploration and shared experiences, acknowledging that self-erotism can coexist alongside moments of intimacy with a partner, enhancing and deepening one's sexual journey in later life. In this stage of life, the body, in all its quiet wisdom, teaches us to savor each moment, to be present, and to embrace sexuality in ways that are more conscious and deliberate. Where once sexuality may have been driven by sheer physical impulse, it now becomes an opportunity to reconnect with our inner selves, to understand our bodies in new ways, and to experience pleasure with greater mindfulness. This evolution is not a loss but a gift, an invitation to explore the depths of our desires, to connect more intimately with our partners, and to appreciate the beauty of a touch, a kiss, or even the quiet moments of closeness that don't require words. Sexuality in old age is a topic often shrouded in silence, but it is one that we must approach with open hearts, free from shame or taboo. It's crucial to recognize that every man's journey through life is unique, and so too are his sexual needs and desires. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to sexuality in later years. For some, masturbation may serve as a means of maintaining a connection to their body's desires, helping to navigate the changes that come with aging. For others, it may be an act of self-care, a way to relieve stress, feel alive, and embrace pleasure on their own terms. What matters most is that this practice, like all things, is approached with balance, awareness, and intention. Masturbation, when done mindfully, can be a healthy and natural part of one's sexual expression, offering benefits that extend beyond mere physical release. It can promote self-awareness, help regulate emotional well-being, and even maintain sexual health by improving blood flow and keeping the reproductive system active. However, the key is to avoid falling into a pattern of routine or mindless repetition, where the act loses its emotional significance and becomes mechanical. When self-pleasure becomes the only outlet for sexuality, it can prevent the deeper connections that come from shared intimacy with a partner. It's important to always strive for balance, to seek not only physical satisfaction but also emotional and spiritual connection, whether it's with oneself or with a loved one. At Sabia Veja's Sexualidad y Salud, we are passionate about encouraging men, and people of all ages, to continue discovering, exploring, and embracing their sexuality as they grow older. Sexuality is not something that fades with time. Instead, it evolves and takes on new forms, offering us a wealth of opportunities to deepen our connection with ourselves and with others. In fact, this is the time in life when we can engage in sexual experiences with more wisdom, patience, and emotional depth than ever before. It's a journey of continued learning, of understanding that wisdom isn't just in what we do, but in how we do it, and in what we take away from those experiences. There is no age limit on joy, intimacy, or sexual fulfillment. We invite you to reflect on your own experiences, and we're here to support you every step of the way as you navigate this beautiful journey of aging and sexual self-discovery. Thank you for joining us in this space of reflection and learning. If you have thoughts, questions, or experiences that you'd like to share, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. We value your voice and your perspective, and together, we can create a community that supports one another in celebrating sexuality and health in old age. If this message resonated with you, we encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that we can continue exploring these important topics together. By sharing, learning, and growing as a community, we can break down the barriers of silence and embrace the fullness of life, love, and intimacy, no matter our age. Thank you again for being part of this journey. Let's continue to walk it together, hand in hand, with an open heart and an open mind. Thank you for joining us on this journey of reflection and discovery. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from this video that you plan to bring into practice in your life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Together, let's continue exploring the deeper dimensions of health, intimacy, and well-being as we age.